The garden. Exterior, garden's edge, day. It's a sunny day in a backyard with concrete steps coming down from a screened porch onto a small but well-loved backyard with green grass and 2 large flower beds. A woman sits on the steps and her hands are visible as she pulls on her rubber gardening shoes and grabs her large sun hat and pulls it towards her face. Her hands and her legs are shown before her, the camera acting as her eyes. The concept would be that this is her POV, shot throughout the film.
The sun was warm on my neck that day, but friendly and welcoming. And as I looked over my garden, I felt an unusual joy at being there. The work I'd already done was colorful and fragrant, but I was there to plant and weed some more. I knew I had a lot to do.
The woman grabs her bucket of gardening tools and a bucket of potting soil and walks to her first bed of plants. She begins to pull weeds and clear debris, tending to plants that were newly planted and making way for new ones.
That day, as I worked, slowly, methodically, listening to the music from inside as my love played some weird musical mix of mine he'd found while he worked inside, my hands found a stone in the earth.
The stone, half buried in the dirt below the rich soil where the old, less fertile stuff was gray and dry, doesn't budge as she tries to move it. So she uses her spade to help wedge it from the ground. She removes her gloves and takes the stone in hand.
As I uncovered it, the cold gray of the stone, soothing and heavy in my hand, revealed not simply a divot in the dirt as expected, but what at first seemed like a light coming from the ground. I leaned forward to see bright lights escape from the soil and colors beamed out. Strange but lovely sounds began emerging.
A burst of colors dancing around the garden bed, and the woman's hands erupt, then swirl, and unearthly, beautiful sounds follow.
In awe, it seemed I was staring at some kind of universe. My eyes welled with tears from the sheer overwhelming beauty and joy. I called out to my love, who ran from the house to see the miracle before me.
Love runs to the woman's side. We see only legs in jeans with canvas shoes on and large hands lovingly touching her shoulders.
We gazed at something bigger than both of us. We knew somehow our lives were changed forever.
Montage. The woman checks on the rock and the magic. The woman gardens in the sunshine, checking under the rock and the lights and sounds that emerge. The woman picks up an umbrella from the porch, dashes out into the rain to the garden, checks under the rock. The same amazing lights and sounds explode from the earth. The woman and her love go out into the garden at night and bend down to look under the rock together as the lights dance and the music plays hypnotically. Exterior, garden's edge, sidewalk, day.
For weeks, my love and I stared into this alien universe, dreaming, wondering what was happening. We were enthralled. Around it, my garden grew. Beauty and color filled the world around this little gray rock. But one day, sunny and warm and perfect for spending time in the garden, my love called to me. It's time to go. I covered our newly covered wonder with its gray, smooth rock. I knew it was time for errands to be run and that I must venture into a world much more stressful than my garden.
The couple stare down at their feet, moving along a busy sidewalk, as the harsh noises of city life erupt around them and other people's feet rush by. They stop outside a concrete building.
When we made our last stop of the day and the glass of the door I pulled open, I could still see the wonder on our faces, the silent joy that lingered from our time in the garden.
The woman and her love have their backs to a busy city sidewalk. They reach towards a door of a plain office building. The dark tinting of the door does not show the audience their faces, but their shapes as the two enter a sparse, clinical building. There's a jarring change in the noise from the city outside to the quiet inside. Interior, doctor's office, day. Suddenly, there is no noise at all. A woman in scrubs smiles and walks up to the couple, leading them into a small, windowless room. It is a doctor's office.
The room seemed so dark and cold, with no window to the world, and the noises from the hallway were muffled, but busy. But we waited and watched our nurse quietly. We waited, and listened as the air left the room as she said one simple sentence. "I'm so sorry. but there's no heartbeat.
The room goes from dim to black, and the noises slowly silence.
I remember silence, but the clock on the wall got louder, ticking and talking, ticking and talking. My love made no sound.
Exterior, porch steps, day.
I didn't see true daylight for weeks, until one day I knew I needed to go to my garden. I watered, I pulled weeds, I tended my wilting beauties. I knelt before my smooth gray rock, anticipating the joy to come. But when I held it in my palm, all that lay beneath it was fallow dirt. Like sand through my hand, it was dry and gray. There was nothing.
The end.